All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting a good fight of faith and truth, in sincerity and wholeheartedly. Shalom to the Akwath, which is the women believers. Shalom to you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Now, this is a video that I done. It's approaching 3 years because I remember this video. It's in my community section, and I did it like at the end, maybe like October or something in 2023. So it's approaching 3 years. But the reason I'm showing this video is because through the spirit, I seen this video over 3 years ago. And what I titled this video, as you see on the screen, using health to go digital. And that's what they're doing. So you recognize, even though it came and went, but it's still in circulation. Remember it was the hantavirus, then it was norovirus, then Ebola knocked both of them out the way. Then it's been about all Ebola. And then they even mentioned sometimes about, the CV19 variants. So yeah, they talk about it. They'll throw it in there, then something else will happen. But yeah, man, so this video is over 2 years ago, and then I'm gonna show you a video that was a couple days ago. Try to get scriptures in between, see what the spirit do.
Slew of new vaccines, injectables that are going to deal with some of the worst diseases in the world, that give us the opportunity to make big changes in the health of the world. And if you want the politicians to focus, they need to think, look, this is coming down the track soon. Because if you tell them about a future pandemic, they'll kind of go, yeah, no, maybe someone else's problem. But you tell them, actually, in the next few years, you're going to have the opportunity to make a big difference to the healthcare of your population. That will focus them.
So in the next few years, we all know that few years. So this is 2023. A few means 3 years or more. So we are here. And, they will use peace and safety, as a means. And in fact, let's do it like this. Hold on real quick. That's the only thing about, doing videos on the phone. If I had a computer, I could have about 15 tabs up. But anyways, so I do want to get that scripture real quick, and then I got another video to show you about what's happening today. Matter of fact, it's 5 and 3. It was a long day at work today, so excuse me. So it said, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them as a travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Because the way that they're going to get people, to basically bow down to their decrees that they're going to bring forth is to get, they're going to cause a problem and get a reaction. And since, people still don't recognize that the rulers of this world is called the wicked for a reason, so people are actually still going to trust them. And we know that because of scripture, because, what the scripture says about what people, he said he calls of all. But listen to this.
The world's first vaccine designed by artificial intelligence has now been achieved.
So remember the video that I just showed you from 3 years ago, they was talking about this, and they said the pandemic in a few years. Okay. And we're approaching. We in the few years. Okay. So
there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is what they wanted. Remember the video we showed? I'm not going to...
And this is not medical information. This is for educational purposes, entertainment purposes. All right. So I'm gonna do my best not to say is what I would like to say, for I don't get my video taken down. I'm gonna let him talk, okay? But I'm gonna add my scriptures in the Lord willing, some safe points in the process.
I'm not going to rehash this. We just posted this on a podcast we did a couple days ago where Larry Ellison got up, said that was the vision of Stargate, to create these tailor-made, custom-made AI vaccines.
Now, you have to ask yourself, so the technology that they want to bring forth. So I'm going to try to say this. Matter of fact, I think this shouldn't be a problem. But basically, what they want is just human antennas. Okay? Human antennas. So there's all of these data centers, they want everybody linked to a cloud. All right. So the people who, the ticking time bombs that's walking on the earth, from the first rollout of the juicy juice, the snake oil, they are already human antennas. But that human antenna, through the spirit, what I've been seeing over the years, I think they're going to use that as a depopulation method. Okay? A lot of people went back to the spirit world behind the juicy juice. And you still got people walking around and doctors who lost their license, and some actually got put to death, by putting out this information. They talk about the stuff that they seen inside of the people who got the juicy juice, and they look like wires. So that's all I'm gonna say. I think I already said too much. But anyways.
It's a report from BBC. Researchers at University of Cambridge have achieved a significant breakthrough by using artificial intelligence using artificial intelligence to design a novel vaccine component that could safeguard against a wide range of coronaviruses, potentially averting future pandemics.
So there's so many sick people in the world, but they haven't put two and two together. Why is a lot of people sick? Why people got underlying health conditions is because of maybe the foods you eat, the water you drink, the air you breathe. All right. But people don't put that together. So they like, shit, I'm sick. If they talking about this is going to help me, then guess what? I guess I'm going to have to do what I got to do. All right. And that's going to be, your downfall. And I'm not going to make this video too long, because at the end of the day, if you don't know what's going on, then you need to catch up. This is the talk of the time. And I love it. Because now, all of the news, I'm talking about the news that actually matter. All the news in the world that actually matter is either talking about the USA, Israel, and Iran, or the digital infrastructure that they're trying to bring forth. Which, how ironic that those are the two last prophecies that got to come to pass. Because Jacob Trouble will be in the midst of all of that too. So, war and the mark of the beast, that is the news that comes across our timeline, and the news that actually matters. Okay? So, the Lord is letting you know what time it is, and he's using his mouthpiece, which is the prophets, to tell you. And if you don't take heed, then guess what? You're just going to be caught up in it.
Oh, and if you think people won't be lined up to get this, come on, guys, you know they will. The vaccine targets the entire coronavirus family, encompassing all known COVID variants and those circulating in animals that pose a risk of spilling over into human populations. Translation: when, not if, but when the next pandemic comes, no need to worry, ladies and gentlemen. You won't need to worry about a jab that they will have to make, because they already have it lined up.
And yes, they do. They now when the first pandemic came, you know, which I believe they already had it, but they said, "Wow, we made this in 7 months." It was either 7, 8, or 9 months, which usually the oh man, I wish I could say the V word, but the V usually take years to make a V. Okay. See, he could say whatever he want, but when the prophet says something, they want to give people strikes and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, so it take years to make the V, but they made this in 9 months because they already had it. And then they showed you, I forgot, see, it's so much information. That was back in 2019 that they basically did like a simulation a couple months before 2020, because I think it was in September or October 2019, about if a pandemic come, what they would do. I forgot what it was called, what the conference called. I think it was World Economic Forum, I think it was. I don't know. Can't remember. Too far back. So much going on. But anyways, but yeah, all of this stuff is as the scripture says, woe to them who let's get that. Unrighteous decrees, which are prescribed. It says, one, it said, woe to them that decree unrighteous decree, which they write grievousness, which they have prescribed. Pre means before. Okay, scribe is written. So they already have these things on the book, but they wait for the right time or the right crisis to bring it forth. And that's what they're doing right now. And also it's to create a operating system in you that you become that antenna that can be, controlled. So much I want to say. I wish I could say it. It's no fair. But y'all get it.
And it was created by artificial intelligence. Unbelievable. This marks the first instance where AI has fully designed a vaccine's critical element, which subsequently tested in human trials. Who signed up for this?
Another thing too, what is up? You got to ask yourself. Now we know I'm basically asking a rhetorical question, but what is up with all this AI? And for even Christians who do believe in the Bible, but they just don't believe in the Bible in its truest form. But you think that the Lord wouldn't talk about this time? That's what Revelation 13 is about. That's what we're going to end it on. Okay? So yeah, this artificial intelligence is no joke. And like I said on the highways and byways, guess what? When these things come to pass, for you that be maybe desensitized to the message, because the message don't change, but you talk, oh, here they go again. Guess what? Do you understand how quick your life is going to change when these things start to actually come to pass? Because they're telling you that it's coming. But when it actually come to pass, your whole life is going to change. And if you don't have Yahweh Bashmi Awashai, it's going to change for the worse. Because let's be honest, your life is already not that good. All right? But now they're going to have even more control of your life. And then they even talk about the people who take it, because that's what it all leads to, the MOTB. People that take it. Let's go to Revelation 16 and 2 real quick. So you thinking yourself to be in a good case, but you're going to have a cancerous sore. So Revelation 16 and 2, it said, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisium and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image. So the Lord is even going to judge you. So you thinking that you good. Okay, I can go buy and sell. I can still go get my Doritos and my Kool-Aid. Okay. You know, Jake died is the horriblest, and mine ain't even the best either. I'm humble enough to say that. I got problems too. I eat too much junk food. All right. Because of the damn chemicals that we are, addicted to. But at the same time, I still do better than Jake out here who eat any and everything. You know, at least I pray and the Lord helps me. But anyways, but yeah, so you still go buy your chemical snacks, chemical filled snacks that got you addicted. Everybody's addicted. Everybody got parasites. Okay. So, but the Lord said that in this time, right? So while you got the grievous sore going on, shit hurts. You know, the Lord said that He gonna feed His servants. They're gonna eat and drink, and you're gonna howl for vexation of spirit. That's in Isaiah 65, verse 13 and 14. Okay. So while you thinking yourself to be in a good case, the Lord said you're gonna be in pain.
Who said, hey, I've got a brilliant idea. Let me be a guinea pig so you can stick this thing in my arm that's been designed not by scientists, not by virologists and people with all this experience, that it was designed by AI. I'll be a guinea pig.
It don't matter if it was by scientists or virologists. Remember, to have a license, they have to get down with the get down. Whatever curriculum, whatever way. That's why when this thing came out, a lot of people who had morals, a lot of doctors who had morals, they got fired. They lost their license or they got put to death for talking too much. All right. It was so many, people coming out talking about, I can't even say it. But anyways.
Why don't you stick this in my arm? This is unbelievable. Again, this is why I told you, people will line up for this. While still in its initial phases, the approach is already being extended to other threats, including influenza and Ebola.
Ebola, they always talk about that. So yeah, these things is coming to pass. Whether you want to hear about it, whether you're tired of it, when these things come to pass, then you're going to know it's a prophet among you.
You didn't see that coming. What's happening right now in Africa. Traditional vaccines often rely on a specific viral strain and struggle against rapidly mutating pathogens, requiring frequent updates as seen with COVID and seasonal flu shots. In contrast, the Cambridge team...
All right, he just saying too much. I hope this video stays. So anyways, I'm going to end it on this because we know about, Revelation 13. But let's listen to what Revelation 14 say to those who will take it. So it said, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in the forehead or in his hand. Now remember, the AI Juicy Juice is not the MOTB. Okay? But that is the step that would lead to it. Once they start making mandatory Juicy Juices, and then they start threatening your livelihood like they did the first time. You see how many people took it? They said over 70% of the population did. Okay? So while they're creating a computer operating system for you can be linked to the B system. Okay? So, verse 10. The same shall drink of the wine and the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and the presence of the Lamb. Now remember, just because it's not the MOTB, don't mean that the Lord is going to be like, it's okay, you can take it. Okay? That's why it been a few people over the years, who came across this truth after already taking it, and people have repented, so this is different, man. This is different. All right. Because when this actually come to pass, it ain't gonna be no repenting from this. All right. Because this is literally leading to the MOTB. See, this ain't 3 years ago. This ain't 5 years ago. Okay. See, the Lord can wink at something that you did 5 years ago. This ain't the time to be trying to play games with the Lord. Because you know better. It's too much stuff that came out on the first round. And if you do take it, I mean, you got no faith at all. So right there, the Lord said, whatever is not of faith is sin. That's in Romans 14:23. So just that alone would get you destroyed. So this is the judgment if you take the mark of the beast and then smoke of their torment, ascending up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast in his image and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Okay? Because the number of the man is 636, which is 666. And you will become basically a human barcode. You know, the information came out years ago about the barcode. In the beginning of a barcode is 6, in the middle of the barcode is 6, and at the end of the barcode is 6. And then there's a series of numbers. All right, so you will become a number. And the Apostle Ramalov said something that makes sense to me. He said, you know, the elite families, so we're just going to use two of them, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, you know, the people who take this one is probably going to be owned by them and vice versa, you know. But anyways, boy, these videos got to come out, but they very, very, you know, risky. But yeah, man. So stay prayed up. And hey, we here, man. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Seek ye out the Lord while he may be found, and Shalom.